We go.
Like, do you sometimes feel is a about filling classes, or is a
Well, well, yeah. I mean, because if I had a gym,
yeah?
and I owned it, and I didn't have to pay rent or anything like that, it'd be a different ball game.
That's
But
the sponsorship deal we're trying to look for, yeah. A gym, right?
but we're trying. Obviously, we've got to pay hall fees,
Yeah, yeah,
so you
yeah,
need students to come along.
yeah,
I mean, I'm retired. My pensions are fine, so
yeah.
it isn't. I don't do it for the money. Um, but I still got to pay the hall fees, and
So,
it goes up each year. So
so
yeah,
what
it's
do you think about all this online? Because there's a trend that I had to, like, bite the bullet and listen to my little boy who's 11, who then said your YouTube channel is not very good, and he's being polite. And that was about 3.5 weeks ago. And I changed everything, changed the logo, and I got as surprised, or more like a kid in a candy store, when we went from, in 3 weeks, we went up to about 160,000 views with 260 odd subscribers, and the numbers just keep going up.
yeah.
And they start. I started thinking, it was like, how do we get people to come in through the door to then learn what we're teaching? But then also there's a flip side of it as well, where it's like there's this whole online presence where people are actually teaching online. And I I, I know personally I would rather teach face to face. But what's your viewpoints of, like, online?
Well, everybody each to their own. I mean, if you want to go online and learn stuff, I don't think you can teach it online.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a demonstration than teaching. Um,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yes, it's fair.
because it's angles that you. That, how can I put this? Um, we can show a movement,
Yeah,
yes, from one side, but you need to go round the other side, and you need to come in from here, and you need to go into there. So there's so many different things,
I think you can
and
do that with taekwondo, because with taekwondo,
it's a different thing. It's a different thing.
I've done it with, when the lockdown was, you could stand there and show them this is a front kick, turning kick, side kick, whatever
Yeah,
it was, and then you could show them the patterns and
yeah.
they can copy you. But I tried it with the adults to do, like Krav Maga at the time, and self defense. It didn't really work, because you're trying to say, right, okay, you're going to do a grab hold here, and then you get this, or the knives here, the guns, whatever, and you can't do it because you don't have that one to one kind of thing.
Plus the
Uh,
fact we're all different.
yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, they could be really tall and I
You could be a
smack it
fat
out.
guy, skinny guy,
Yeah,
medium-sized guy. I mean, the
yeah,
attacker could be fat, skinny. You
yeah,
don't know. So to show something with two guys that are roughly, and they're usually roughly the same size and what
yeah,
have you, we're finding it. And I bet you agree with me. We're trying to find the loopholes with women now,
yeah, 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 yeah.
because it's all right teaching
Mm,
what we teach, but when it's practiced on a girl,
yeah,
not
yeah,
I'm not being sexist or nothing, but I believe anybody that disagrees with me, women are not as strong as blokes.
yeah,
Now and again, you get a woman that comes up that's, or female, should I say, not woman, female comes up and they are strong, but most of the cases they're not going to be. So where we're doing this grabbing hands and doing this and that, they can't do it. So
no.
we're trying to find a way around that does work.
But then that's back to that being adaptable, isn't it?
Yes, yeah,
Adaptability and
yeah. So that was
learning. Yeah, yeah,
fat guy, skinny guy,
yeah,
female,
yeah,
male.
yeah,
Somebody maybe with a bit of a disability.
yeah. You
There's
can't not.
lots of people walking around with disabilities. I mean, it's if they're attacked because mate he thinks, oh well, he's got a limp or he's this and that.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
got to try, and I think that's what we've got to do. Eventually, we got to take what we're teaching to another level and maybe
yeah,
have a one Iron Man.
yeah.
Oh, that sounds silly,
No, but I thought about all of that,
but
because you just don't know, because you're looking at people coming in, and every single thing about them are able-bodied and all that, right? It's easy to teach, but
yeah.
there are people out there, like, they could be, army
Now,
veterans.
years ago,
Yeah.
um, I was asked by a man in a wheelchair
Mm.
why I wouldn't teach him taekwondo.
Yeah.
And he stumped me for a minute because taekwondo is a kicking sport.
Yes.
Now and again you punch, yes, but it's a kicking sport. And he'd approach people, and he finally came to me and he said, Dave, he said, would you be? I said, well, I've got to answer no.
Yeah.
He said, why not? He said, I can't get a straight answer. I said, well, I'm not going to say because it's a kicking sport and you can't use your legs. I said, taekwondo is mainly in bare feet. I
Yeah.
said, what about the wheels on your?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I never thought of that. such an obvious, but
Yeah.
I'm just people do ask somebody
then-
in a wheelchair to do a kicking sport.
Then but then on the flip side of that, now knowing what you know, right? If someone came along like that, who with the crab and the self-defense is all upper body, you could do that.
Well, yes, but it wouldn't be taekwondo.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't be that. No.
You know, you don't necessarily don't have to wear shoes. You can do in taekwondo.
Yeah, yeah.
Most of it, I mean, I always trained in bare feet. I always found it better to get the feel of the floor. I don't know, but you know, for somebody in a wheelchair, and I'm training with them, and they're doing punches or elbows or whatever, which you don't do in taekwondo. But anyway,
you know, the feeling the floor is a very acting term as well. They've used it like, you know, like when you go into theatre and you're rehearsing in the theatre, a lot of the very die-hard, very, you know, thespians that go into theatre, they take the shoes off and socks off to feel the boards.
yes, this is
They want to feel the. I used to laugh at that until one day I tried it and I went, oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I said, oh.
I used to do it. I done it. Going back a while again when I was doing the crav, learning crav in Hemel. I took my shoes and socks off.
Yeah.
And one of the guys came over and said, "What's the idea with the bare feet, though?"
Yeah.
And you know, I felt better with the feet.
Yeah.
With the bare feet.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're sort of more conscious.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's very
And
true.
I always maintain your dress. I think we've discussed this before.
Whatever you wear on. Yes.
Taekwondo. You wear a taekwondo suit.
Yes.
You start acting taekwondo, and I said I've seen this, and so have you.
Yeah.
You put your other stuff on.
Oh, it changes it.
What you call crav.
Yeah.
The whole thing changes.
Oh yeah.
So I went a couple of years back. I went in what I'd call civvies.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I came in?
Yeah.
I had a pair of jeans on.
Yeah.
I had an ordinary shirt.
That was a
And
denim
I
shirt.
felt totally different.
That was a denim shirt.
Always wear denim.
Yeah, double denim.
I'm always denim.
Yeah, you was ahead of the trend because I remember you walked in. I went, "That's double denim." That's in the GQ magazine at the moment.
Master Denim Dave. Yeah. But yeah, it made me totally. I was reality because I wouldn't be walking around in the trousers I wear for crav and the vest or whatever. I can't stand t-shirts. I don't wear my vest to show off my tattoos or anything like that. And I'm not exceptionally muscly to say, oh yeah, I just can't stand t-shirts for some reason.
Yeah.
So let's get that one out of the way. I wear a vest because
we'll do a poll for that one, right? We'll get the jury on that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the address does make a hell of a difference.
I've tried this before because I some of my classes, I have taekwondo just before doing the self-defense classes, and one day I was like, I can't keep on changing. There's only one. There was a 1 hour class and another hour class. I said I'll just wear my self-defense stuff on, and I'll do the taekwondo. It didn't work. I tried to do kicks, and I went, this doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Even the students looking at me going, why is he dressed like that?
Yeah.
Because the way you dress, the way you train and teach, does change everything.
Of course
you know?
It does. Yeah.
Maybe that's one of the things we should do one day, is just like get everyone to just come in civvies, like you call it, and then train.
Yeah.
Because really, that is the reality of when you go outside.
Of course it is.
I mean, we've tried to. I know my uniform is pretty much, apart from the bottoms, I would say it's like I would go out, you know, for a drink with it or a pub if we finished. You know, I've done it before. We finished the class and gone for a quick pint or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad wearing it. I feel bad wearing the taekwondo stuff. And then walking into you're gonna get laughed at. You got pajamas on, mate.
Yes, I mean I think that I used to have this with my daughter's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, should I say? This was going back a few years. He started doing taekwondo, and he'd come walking around with his all his gear on. I'd say, you know, I won't mention names.
Yeah.
I'd say, could you, you know, not wear your uniform out in public?
Yeah.
I said, so I forget what he done now. I think he put a top on or jeans on and still wore the top. I forget which way around it was.
Oh yeah,
But this incites trouble because
it's like a
you know,
you're like a target, aren't
you're
you?
walking down the street, a gang of lads pull by and they see you walking down with.
You say that you're right, because when I used to park up to go and do the taekwondo, I'd have my whole uniform on, but I would tuck my belt in my jacket.
Yes,
I'd never let my belt.
That's it. So
you couldn't tell if I was a black belt or whatever, because it does. If someone sees you with a black belt, go, oh, you think you're a tough guy, then they come over and they want to like challenge you, whatever it is. So I always used to.
It was always a cover in the top part because that's where it said taekwondo. You didn't have it on your trousers.
No.
You'd have some white trousers on. And if you tucked your belt out of sight, then you could just have white trousers on.
Look at this lazy bastard just walking up with pajamas going.
But if you got jeans on,
yeah,
and a taekwondo back,
No.
you're still advertising,
Yes.
and you'll
I
get
agree.
people that will pick on you because of that.
Yes.
Especially if they're a gang of them. Well,
Yeah,
let's see what this guy's like.
But then saying that, I remember once it was between classes. Oh no, the class finished, and these guys said, "Do you want to come for a bite to eat?" And I had my Krav stuff on, and this is where I used to say Krav Maga here, and I had the other badge. And I walked in, and I did notice it because people just went Krav Maga, and I'm not a very particularly built guy, and you could just see what was going on. So I said to the guys, "Can we sit in that little corner?" And I sat in the corner so you couldn't see what it was. It's just because of people, you know, they look at it and go, "Skinny guy like that thinks he does Krav Maga.
Let's see what he's like.
Let's see what it's all about." I said, "Mate, I've been trained by Master Dave, not blowing smoke up your arse again, right?" No,
no, it's there's lots when you sit and talk about things like this. There's so much that you can talk about. It's not just a case of I go and do this, I do that once or twice a week. End of story. No. It's not. For me, it's not. No. Said before, it's
a real life.
It's a major part of my life. I don't know what if something happened, I couldn't do training.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got my birds, I've got my fish, I love my garden, and God knows what. But if I couldn't go and teach,
just to clarify about the birds, the birds meaning like actual birds,
just flying birds, not the other birds. I mean, I'm a little bit too old for the other type. I mean, it's but yeah. What else can we discuss?
I don't know, man. Because I don't know. We could shoot the breeze all day, but I think that's it.
I think we've covered most things. I mean, if anybody's bothered to or been interested,
you'll be very surprised. I think there's going to be a whole load of people.
It's
the fun part of doing all of this. This is where the fun part comes in. Is like, it's better. Like I've always said, it's better to have a lot of footage, and then take stuff off. What did I say again, man?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of elements of this that are really good. Some are, it's all good. Hopefully you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's.
I've been trying to get this out of you for a very long time.
It's been something different for me because, as I say, I'd be shy in this lark. I mean, but to be in front of the camera and answer questions.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've done it in such a relaxed way.
I didn't want to do this.
I think if we'd have sat down and said, "I'm going to ask you this question,"
it's an interrogation,
and then when I do this, you answer that. I can genuinely say, hand on heart, this is just how it is.
Because end of the day, like when we're teaching, yes, there's an element of how we teach and how, what we do, but there's also an element is like we do talk like this.
Yeah,
this is not like put on. The difference is
there's a part of this. I don't know which part it is. I ain't got a fart's clue, but you were filming, and I didn't know you were filming. So there's a part of this.
Well, you said you said to me, you said, "Come and sit down. You look very untidy standing there." And I was like, "He doesn't know."
I didn't know. So I hope I hope I didn't swear. I don't think I did. I try to keep it,
No, but it's good because there's an element of this where people need to know about you. But there's also an element of like there's an instructor side, so I know exactly what to do with this. So it's good.
Yeah, so to sort of finish off with this, hopefully, I hope it brings some people in. I hope people do come in, not just solely for finances.
No,
but I think
passing on knowledge.
The environment now, people need to know some form of self-defense.
But like we've said many times, it's like when you learn a lot over so many years and you teach and everything, there's knowledge that needs to be passed on. You don't keep that knowledge in. I've always said to my students, I want you to become better than what I am. So when especially with the kids that going to doing taekwondo, when you become a black belt, you need to be better than me. If you're better than me, then I know I've done my job.
That's right, precisely.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, there is one student, no names. I'm looking at him right now. I'm going, he's just become a black belt. He's bloody good. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I watch him and I go, "You're doing this at 17?
Yeah.
Or 16, sorry. You're doing this at 16? 10 years' time, what are you going to be like? 20 years' time, what are you going to be like? When you get to my age, what are you going to be like?" Because you've got a really good head on the shoulder. And I'd like to believe that he's learned that from us.
Yeah. I mean, I've got an example. I'll be careful I won't mention his name. If he watches this, he'll know who it is. There's a guy had a situation and he came to me and he said, "Could you teach me to fight?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, everybody can fight, it's just knowing how." I said, "But I'll do the best I can." I said, and within a couple of months, I said, he's like a fighting machine. I said, his strength is incredible.
Yeah.
His speed is incredible. I said, he's a tall guy, which always pays dividends. And because of doing Krav, he's something else now.
But think about
confidence he's got.
Think about where that is going to take this chap. But you also got to remember is where he's learnt from. I know you can't take compliments, but I know who you're talking about, and we've talked about him from day one to now. And when you see him now, you're like, whoa.
And I say, I've got a young lad. Again, I won't mention names.
Oh, that was the lad you're talking about.
No, I'm talking.
the other one.
I'm talking about the big fella, 6 foot.
Oh, yeah.
But this other guy,
My brain's still rattling.
He's a youngster.
Yeah.
He's 14.
Yeah.
He came around here, same sort of thing. He was bullied at school, and you know, when people say he couldn't even make a fist, not quite that bad, but you want to see him now. Yeah. He's something else.
Yeah.
Because of Krav. I'm not going to blow the trumpet and say, oh, it's because of my training. Wow. It's because it's what he learnt.
Yeah.
How to do this, how to do that. We all know how to do things if somebody shows us.
True.
We're not born with this, yeah, we can go out and do this movement. That's somebody. I have to be shown things.
Yeah.
Or I have to go and practice and learn things.
Yeah.
And again, I just want to put this in as a major thing. We're not saying we're the best there is. Far from it.
No, you're right.
Each instructor, he's got his own way of teaching. I wouldn't knock anybody's.
No, I agree.
Instructors go out and they show things, and it's their way of training. I'm not saying they're better than us or they're worse than us. We're not better than them or worse than them. We're going along and we've found a way that we think works.
Yes.
We try it with each other.
Yep.
We think it works, but we're not perfect.
No.
All we say, if we want people to come along, give us a try.
Yeah. You can't ask for any more than that.
Self-defense is self-defense.
Yes.
We're not going to put karate, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, all this to it. Wing Chun. We're saying self-defense, which is a difference than martial arts. Usually I had a lot of students leave me because they couldn't do the patterns.
Yeah.
In karate, I think they're called katas. People don't want to do that. They don't want to be taught how to do this and do that. They want to come on. So self-defense is perfect for that.
But I also agree that, you know, one of the things that I've always said is that everyone should learn some sort of either martial art or self-defense or something like that, because it's not just the physical, it's also the mental. Yes, there's a spiritual element of it as well, but it's also there's an awareness, and you find out a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gone through that journey a lot ourselves, you know what I mean? You have days you question it, and then you have days you go like, no, I'm glad I still do what I do.
Yeah.
And I think that everyone should get an opportunity to try and do something like that, because the benefits you get out of it are amazing. Yeah. Especially when you got two good instructors, you know what I mean? Because
we're teaching and we're twins.
Yeah, you can't tell us
sometimes Master Aiyaz will come along to me on a Monday night and he'll say something, and I said, well, hang on, I'm just going to do that. And I said, it happens the same with him.
Yeah.
You know, we seem to be always on the same page.
Yes.
I said, that's why we're sort of together doing this. He'll think of something, or I'll phone him and he'll say, well, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We seem to be, you know.
We walk into a room, they can't tell us apart.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know what I mean? You walk in, you go like that.
So when I said, Master Aiyaz approached me and asked me if I would join him in this venture.
Yeah.
I mentioned the name. I was with WKMA, World Krav Maga Association. I was with him. Master has come along and said to me he wanted to start this new organisation. I said, quite honestly, I was honoured I was asked. I said, because it's not just you know. I hope the people that I've trained with and the people that taught me from WKMA don't take any insults that I've left. I've been doing martial arts for a long while. I've had quite a few instructors, and I'm doing this not for the both of us, but for me as well.
That's most important. Yeah.
You know, not that I want to be kingpin or nothing. That doesn't really come into it. It's just an achievement now. We've started this together. We don't know how it's going to go.
No.
This is something new. We're trying this, and
it's a journey.
I've got to stop talking with my hands.
No, it's all right. I'm sitting here.
What I should do is sit on them, isn't it?
No. I'm sitting on my hand, because all you're going to see is this. Then you see this. Then you're going to start going for each other.
This is a nervous thing, isn't it? You have to really do a chainsaw.
On that happy note, then.
Yep.
I think that's good, man.
Yeah, I think we've got to come to the end of this. So if you're watching this, thank you very much for watching it and listening.
Yeah.
And hopefully see you.